Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Soul Man Surgery here on Thursday morning, the 11th of February, 2021. Hope you're all really, really well. This morning, we have got the very lovely John Seary on again today, speaking all about the aura and how we can influence our energy to help us best live our lives. So if you do have any questions for John as well, please do ask away in the comment section down below. And as always, get your finger and tap that screen with all the love, because we do like the love tapping away on the screen. So right now, before we even bring John on, get your finger and tap that love heart many, many, many times to show John the love. That's your way of clapping. Anyway, here he comes, John Seary. Hello, John.
Morning, Stephen. Morning, folks.
How are you?
I am very good this morning.
Well, that's good. Very good's good, isn't it?
Something to do with the shower, I think, and singing in the shower.
Or were you singing in the shower?
Badly.
What were you singing?
What do you call it? Emily Sandé.
Oh, nice. Wasn't it Next to Me, was it?
No, Wonder.
I was going to say, if it was Next to Me, you would have your lovely wife saying, "I'm not coming in there with you." Anyway, sorry, that's a really, really bad joke first thing in the morning. So, John, we're speaking about the aura because that is your thing, isn't it? It's the thing that you know most about. So, please do share. What is the aura for anybody who hasn't watched any of these before?
The aura simply is this electromagnetic field that surrounds every living thing.
Yeah.
Everybody has an aura. You'll see it around trees. You'll see it around plants. And in this aura is contained as, from the minute you're born, is every bit of information about you. It's been recording 24/7 and it's all in there. And the aura is made up of several different layers. And it starts from for me, it starts from inside out.
Yeah.
And it's through our own mind that we control it. It's just like everything else in life. It's all mindset, isn't it? And keeping a good mindset. And we all have this ability to pull on these different layers. So if we're feeling down, we can bring in this healing layer and just help us. And that's a good side of it, where our aura does protect us, it does look after us. However, if we don't look after our aura, external things can affect your aura. For like, so people affect just everything you come into contact with, people, anything you eat, anything you drink, it all affects the energy that surrounds you. And it's so easy to be able to access that. I'm saying it's easy. It's once you believe that you're accessing this invisible force that surrounds you. And your aura, as you know, it can extend up to 9 foot, depending on the person. And that's out both ways, front, back. So we're all this bubble of energy. And it's not like some people would believe we've just got this cloud of colour that just follows us about and just changes colour with our moods.
And interestingly as well, John, there's seven layers in your aura, isn't there?
Well, absolutely.
So we'd done a a course earlier on in the year with the guys in our mediumship mentorship, and the first layer of the aura is the etheric layer, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
And this is
the below that you see.
Yeah. So this is the one that's closest to the body, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And when people are learning to see the aura and they see that wee glow round people, and that's that first stage of it.
So that little like haze of light, I suppose, that you see down someone's head and shoulders, that would be the etheric layer of the aura, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And the next layer, I'm just going to go through each layer. The next,
off in my head, I'm thinking, what's next?
I'll keep you right. The emotional layer, that sits just outside the etheric layer.
Yeah.
Responsible for love, joy, hate, sorrow, and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's where all your emotions are stored. They say that's the kind of blueprint.
Yeah.
And that's where get into that. It's like when you're working through your energy centers, you reach the heart center, and once you open that up, then you're opening yourself up to the other layers.
Brilliant. Next one is the mental layer, and that sits about 8 inches outside our aura. So I don't know what 8 inches looks like, but I would imagine it's about that. Yeah.
That's a dangerous one.
Yeah. So this connects our mental judgments.
Yeah. That's I call it the world of thought.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's fascinating that there's so many layers, though, isn't there?
Oh, it's amazing.
My favourite one, I have to say, and it's the astral layer, and this extends a whole foot outside our body.
Absolutely.
And this is the bridge between the physical world and the spirit world.
Yeah. That's the one that we strive to reach.
So we're really pushing our energy out there when we're working with the spirit world. I suppose we're pushing it out there to that foot around the body to try to connect with the spirit world.
Yeah. I think firstly you're connecting with yourself, and then we're reaching out to the world of spirit. So you get that wee bit of oneness is a better way. You just feel you're connected with yourself.
I suppose that makes a lot of sense, though, doesn't it, John? Because if you're first of all, you're pushing through these different layers. You're pushing through those emotions. You're pushing through the mental side of it, where your thinking mind comes in, I suppose. And then there's that astral layer, which is your own soul, but equally the soul of other people that can connect with that.
That's it. Again, that's where I say the mental layer is the kind of dangerous one.
Yeah.
As if we're meditating to link with the spirit world, and we've got all these thoughts. Remember, the average person has 30,000 thoughts a day floating about in there.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So you've got to get through all these thoughts to reach that layer. And that's why I always say about quieting the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we never really can manage it because there's just too much in there to control. So the easy way past it is just accepting I'll never quieten it. So
yeah. The fourth one is the etheric template, which extends a whole 2 feet outside the body, and it looks like the negative of a photograph. What it can do.
Yeah.
They say that it's the blueprint of your physical body.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other one's the blueprint of your soul kind of thing. And this is where everything gets stored. So it's like probably acts as your filing system.
Amazing, eh? How all that stuff like sticks in your energy, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, these are the ones that when someone comes into your aura, you start picking up things about them, whether it's consciously or subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
So if people haven't got control of their aura, their energy is going to be bouncing off yours.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
why we end up going home with sore backs and crabbing and shouting at the rains when they've done nothing.
The sixth layer is our celestial layer, and this is said to be the source of enlightenment, an information portal that connects to the third eye.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is ultimately where we're going to be when we go into that. Yeah. And it's just amazing how we think that this is all outside, but it's all connects with your own energy centers as well.
Yeah.
And they represent the colours that we see in the aura. But when we get to, as you said, that enlightened stage, and you're at peace with yourself, basically. You're at one, and you've got this connection with your own spirit. You've got this amazing connection with the spirit world. And that's what makes it easier for them to work with us as well. So it's just how they all interact and how we can just pull in these layers.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't realise that we can pull these layers in and out to suit us.
Mm-hmm.
So although we've got all this energy protecting us, we can use it to our own advantage.
Absolutely. And I think that's kind of what pulled us in the next layer, which is the catheric layer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this layer, and it's really interesting because a lot of people say, I don't feel protected, or I feel like spirit are going to like attach themselves to me or whatever. And it's interesting because this layer of our energy field stops that, because this layer extends out to 3 feet, and it protects all the layers as well as the physical body with an extremely intense frequency of light.
Absolutely. And that's the one we tend to ignore.
That's amazing.
We walk in somewhere, we know we shouldn't go, but we stay, and then something kicks off.
Yeah.
Your aura's protecting you. And it's talking to you every minute of the day. Energy's constantly flowing, and it flows with your thoughts and your reality.
Yeah.
But that layer it's an important layer, and it's just getting to know it, it's getting to trust it. And
so really, there's no any danger of anybody being, attacked, or the spirit world jumping into your energy or your aura or anything like that, really, is there?
No. My experiences of the spirit world is they'll come into my aura when I invite them in.
Yeah.
And if they know that if I haven't invited them in, then they don't. That's when we talk about closing down and opening up, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so simple for myself now. It's so simple. I've had my same problems with everybody else throughout the years, but now I know that it's as simple as this is my time, and come back when we're ready to work, and then believing that that's happening. And then you realise if you feel that things are attaching, I hear that a lot, that people having attachments. And then I've got to ask, well, who's attaching this? And it's all coming from up here.
Yeah, so it really is impossible for something else to attach itself to you if you've got that part of your aura that's blasting out that intense light.
Absolutely.
It's like your being's self-defense mechanism, I suppose, isn't it?
And that's that. I mean, as sensitives, as you know, that if you're doing a reading, you're being invited into somebody's aura.
Yeah.
And once that reading stops, you withdraw. And that person will feel you, or sense you, rather, in and about their aura. But some of them don't understand it, and people think that they're having a psychic attack.
Yeah.
And all that's happening really, as you say, it's that layer is telling you something's not right.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting how people can think that, you know, our physical being is like, you know, your skin, your face, your body, I suppose, that's all it is. When it's not, because we've got this bubble of protection around us all the time.
Absolutely. And it's there constantly. And I get a lot of people. In fact, the most recent person I've had coming back is somebody told them their aura was leaking. And my first question to them is, how much are they offering to repair it? 70 quid, she said.
Puncture repair kits for aura holes. God.
Well, I'll give you it for free. There's nothing wrong.
I suppose, though, if someone's going through, you know, a season of their life where they're going through some sort of emotional trauma or whatever, you know, their aura may come across, or their energy field, whatever you want to call it, it may come across a bit sketchy and a bit all over the shop.
Absolutely, yeah.
Weak energy, is it, John? Oh.
It's one of those that if people are emotional, it affects that layer. It then goes into the thought process as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it comes back. So if you're holding on to all the thoughts that where you are feeling so low, and people do have real life experiences. I get that. We've all had our own, and we see how it affects us. It doesn't crack your aura. It doesn't bore holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
But we can affect the flow of the energy.
Yeah. We've got a question here from Gina, and it's quite a good question, actually. And I'm just going to bring it up on the screen. Any tips for teaching kids how to pull in their own aura? I have a very empathetic child who feels other people's energy intensely at times.
Kids, they're so innocent. They're just so innocent to the world. So their aura is constantly wide open.
Mm-hmm.
And just kids that are quite overactive. Again, it's just letting them burn energy. And it's just get a big wide part, just let them run riot, just to burn that energy out a wee bit. And getting back to colour, my granddaughters, they're quite energetic and they're full on. But the minute I put a blue light on, you just see them calming down.
Mm.
And blue's a natural anaesthetic.
Yeah. So, you know, Gina's saying there that when you know, I would imagine that when she's out with her child's picking up on other people's energy, and it can be really intense. So would there be any ways in which she could, like, stop that from happening? I know you're saying run around and like expel energy, but that's not really going to help them, the whole like feeling other people stuff.
Exactly. My experience is when I get that way, as you know, we're taught to shift our consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just keeping them occupied, keeping them busy. That way he's not looking about, because you know yourself, the minute your thought process goes somewhere, your aura follows it.
Yeah. So if Gina was out, she would, because she's not really going to be able to help him bring his aura in the way, is she?
No.
Because children have got a naturally very open energy.
Exactly. There's a lot of kids' meditations.
Mm-hmm.
And there's even if she is out shopping, I'm assuming we're talking out shopping in amongst people. Again, there's a lot of colouring in books, things that are going to keep his mind, the child's mind occupied. Then the thought process, it isn't going to, kids are so curious and they're so innocent and they just love.
So the best way really is to try to distract them with other things, I suppose, then.
Yeah.
Mm.
Again, I know Gina comes up to your shop, so she'll have an idea how all this works, and she'll be able to protect his aura as well.
Yeah.
And it's just really,
that's my next question is, when we're out with our children, we would naturally cloche them anyway, wouldn't we?
absolutely.
Our energy is going to go woof, right over our kids.
Yeah, it's the same when my youngest was born and she had right bad colic and they all struggled with her. But I used to take her and I used to bring my own energy down.
Mm-hmm.
And then she would relax with it as well. So they used to call me the baby whisperer. But it's just using my own energy to bring them down. And I would suggest even that for Gina as well. She's not going to depend her energy in any way because her child's a part of her anyway.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you there, John. I have a child just like Gina's he's so influenced by other people's energy. And when I'm out, there's a very clear difference between me being out with him and his mum being out with him. And
absolutely,
when I'm out with him, my energy just kind of, I would imagine, I know that it does, but it flops over him. And he's always very close to me, and I always intend that he stays very close to me. So, but when he's out with mum, he's like a possessed demon from one of the seventh dimensions of hell.
Yeah.
But I think that's because mum can be quite reactive to his energy, So if you are finding yourself that one of your kids is a bit unruly like that, I suppose maybe it's more about your energy as well and how you're reacting with that. I'm not saying that's the case with you, Gina, but would you agree with that, John?
You're absolutely spot on. And it's, if Nikki's shop and she's got her mind on what I'm going to get for the day, and then wee boys running about, then all of a sudden Nikki's getting agitated with the wee boy running about, and he feels it, and just as you said, he feeds off it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it worse.
Yeah, and not to discount guys in the slightest, but ladies do have a lot more to think about than men,
Absolutely.
Women have got everything going on in their heads, whereas guys are kind of like we're like slugs. We're very one-dimensional thinking, whereas women are like, well, my God, I've got my washing to do, and iron to do, I've got dinner to make, I've got do. So there's going to be that element of stress there as well, isn't there?
Oh, God, aye, definitely. Yeah.
Sorry if there's any guys watching and I've just called you a slug, but we are. That's...
I have seen men like that as well, though.
Yeah. I suppose I can be like that in a sense. I think when I'm out, I'm very focused on just the one thing.
Absolutely, yeah. See, I'm the same. If I go out shopping, I know what I'm going for, I'll go and do it.
Yeah.
And I don't hang about. I walk quite quick for my height.
Yeah.
I'm just in and out, so I can be in and out of 3 and 4 shops And if I take my wife with me, I go round the shop and she's still at the first aisle, and
It's interesting because if you were, Gina's kind of pulled us onto this topic, I suppose. But if you were out with your children, it says quite a lot if you've got your child out and you're trying to do shopping or you're trying to do whatever else. It's quite a big ask to ask a child to, be in their own energy, be in their own thinking, and not act out with that.
Yeah. What I've seen, obviously, I've worked in retail, and I've when I'm learning about my energy, you watch people, not watch them as in troll them, but you watch the energy, and you see. I talked about keeping Gina's wee one occupied, and you see that the mothers that involve the kids in the shopping, they're the ones that are the calmest, and the ones that are a wee bit hyper, they're the ones that the kids are running all over the place. And stay beside the mothers.
Say that again?
They stay beside their mothers.
Yeah.
It's just like you said, it's just they feed off the energy. So if your energy's quite calm, you involve them, then they'll stick by your side.
Yeah, that is interesting, because what I do when I go shopping, we sit in the car and I say, right, here's your warning. You do not act like a little shite in the middle of Asda. And then I'll say, you're going to help me. We're going to look for bananas. We're going to look for this. We're going to look for that. So when we're going around the shops, I will say, right, where's the bananas? Find the bananas. Right, that's what we need. We need butter. Grab the butter. Brilliant. We need this. We need that. Right, now can we go and have a wee look at some of the stuff that isn't really essential shopping? And I suppose just framing it up like that, it helps to regulate their own energy, doesn't it?
Exactly. You've got their mind occupied even before they go into the shop. So you've got their energy in check. You've got their aura in check. And then when you're in, you're giving that wee bit of give and go. So you're giving them a wee bit of their time.
Yeah.
So it's just as you're doing it, it's being cute with them.
And when you review that as well, you could really add that to any kind of area of your life. I remember very clearly going for interviews when I was like 19, 20 in Michelin star restaurants and, like really high-end restaurants in Edinburgh. And I remember feeling those nerves, but then just bringing myself into centre, calming myself down. And I remember the people in the interviews would always say to me, you look really calm and really chilled for your interview.
Yeah.
Be nervous. I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm a bit of butterflies there, but I feel really focused. And everybody was always dead surprised by that.
And I think even in that situation, it's amazing what you can do if you just center yourself and keep control your energy. You start to see clearer. So if you go in like to an interview and you've had a bad time getting there, you're running late, you're panicking, you sit down for your interview and you can't answer a question. But just taking that couple of minutes, centering yourself, getting control, getting yourself together really. And then when you're asked a question, you can think about it rationally.
Yeah. Energy really does not lie though, does it?
Oh, absolutely not. You can tell so much from about someone from their energy.
It's interesting because the last few days I've been feeling a wee bit down actually, and it's not something that I really experience periods of feeling down, but I have been feeling a wee bit down. I've been doing a lot of self-regulation, like dialing down stress, doing all of the stuff that Susan and I talk about on a Monday and a Friday. And before I come on our sessions in the morning, I always play music that really, really lifts my energy. And what I find, I come much better prepared when I've done that, when I've done that self-regulation. So before we came on, I was like wet noodle on the couch, floppy, just letting my energy sink, and then whew, music, boom.
Yeah.
And I came on like, "Hi John, how are you?" You know.
Yeah.
So I suppose it's what we do with our energy that really sets up how we show up for things.
Absolutely. And I had a similar experience myself this morning. And again, it was just sitting down. I was actually watching Emmerdale, and I thought, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Then I came up 8:45 into the shower and listened to that Emily Sandé one, and it's about I am full of light, I am full of wonder. And the time I sat down and signed on, I was ready to go.
What's that song called?
It's Wonder, it's called, Emily Sandé.
I have heard that, yeah. I'm going to listen to that.
Yeah. See, that's another thing about energy as well. It's just when it tells you so much about a person.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, sometimes we're in our groups and we're talking, and you'll see somebody and you'll ask, are you listening? And they'll say, I hear you. And I'll say, yeah, you hear me, but you're not listening. And you're not listening to the energy. And so I do that exercise with them, and they see it totally differently. So it's like we hear songs, we like the music, the beat gets us going, it gets the energy going. But it's when you sit and listen to the words, you hear that song in a different tone.
I get it. Yeah, you had me a bit confused there just now, but yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
You're pulled in by the tone of the music or the beat of the music, and then when you actually listen to the words, it can have real depth and real meaning to it. So you hear it for the first time.
Yeah, pretty much. I experienced that once. It's an old Beatles song, actually. And I've heard it for years. Can't remember what one it was. But I sat one night and listened to the words. And I thought, I didn't realise that's what that was about.
Do you know, it's funny you're saying that, because I was actually thinking about a Beatles song as well. And it's that, if there's anything that you want.
Yeah.
I can do that. So, yeah. It's funny that. Anyway, sorry.
But these things, they're all to do with how you work with your aura, but how you work with your energy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean manipulate in a negative way, but it's manipulating other people's energy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone feels that they're having this psychic attack, or somebody's adversely affecting their aura, you can change it. And it's just by using the power of your own mind.
That's interesting, eh? What's your thoughts on bioenergetics, John? Have you heard of bioenergetics before?
I don't know a lot about it. I know the guy over in Falkirk or somewhere that way, he kind of works more with that side of it. I know that the system I work with, that's biofeedback. So that's kind of reading energy.
Yeah, so but bioenergetics, I've been doing this for about 9 weeks. I've not shared it with anybody yet, but I've been doing a practice of bioenergetics with a company over in Australia, and it's called shaking medicine, right? So it's very like yoga, all right? But what you're doing is you're stimulating tremors in your body.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
So you're basically going into your autonomic nervous system, and you're activating the rest and repair side. It's really, really fascinating. I've been doing it for 9 weeks, and it's really having this massive effect on my energy. But when I'm doing it, there's certain movements and certain positions that you do, and you're basically you're putting your body in a position where it starts to tremor, right?
Yeah.
And as it starts to tremor, the only thing that I can say is that I can feel my energy moving, or the energy in my body moving outside my body, and I can feel the aura expelling it, I suppose. It's really fascinating, and it's something that was done thousands of years ago. And the person that got me interested in it, and she doesn't even realize she got me interested in it, was Susan Watson, because she'd spoke about 10 weeks ago about what animals do in the wild is they shake off all their energy. You know, it's like your dog comes in from outside after like being really active, and then it shakes off, and then it lies down, and then it chills. If you're scared, you shake, don't you? You know,
it's like coming out the cold into the heat. We shake that off, don't we?
Yeah.
No,
So
that totally makes sense. Yeah.
I might send you a wee link for it, and you can have a wee look at what you think of it. But it really is amazing.
Aye.
And I can really feel it like manipulating and changing my energy when I'm doing it. And I do it between 10 minutes to 30 minutes, sometimes an hour every single day. And would you agree then? See, I'm going down a leafy lane. I'm trying not to. Would you agree that what's happening in the body physically, your aura's always trying to deal with that?
Absolutely. I've always believed that we have two bodies. We have the physical body with the energy body. And we can have so many ailments within our physical body, but if we look after the energy, it'll look after the body. And again, doing all this energy work, it's looking after both. So both of them will work hand in hand. So if someone is not looking after their physical, they'll feel a wee bit spaced out at times. But I see where you're coming from with that, though.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that, yeah.
There's a lot of like qigong stuff in it, and a lot of like yoga and qigong and all of that kind of stuff. So again, it's being very aware of your own prana, your own life force energy, your own chi.
Yeah, I think that's really qigong. It's pretty much the art of moving energy. And it's not just kind of hand movements, it's moving the energy with the hand movements.
Yeah. And see, I've got another question with that. See, with your chi, because your chi is really your life force energy, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Is your chi part of your aura, or is it your aura, or what is it?
Obviously, when I came into this, and I was just a medium. The aura didn't matter to me. Chakras didn't matter to me. And it was all about the energy, basically. And just studying it now for these past 10 years, and more so 6 years since I've got this system. And for me, it's all part of it. Your energy centers, your aura, it's all part of that chi energy. For me, I feel you can bounce your auras off walls.
Mm-hmm.
You can move it, you can repair it, you can work wonders with it. And I always feel that people just don't realise how powerful they are.
So if you were really, really concentrated on your energy and you were trying to really focus it on a certain thing or whatever, could you potentially move objects with it as well? You know, like telekinesis.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Yeah. I was at a psychic fair, and there was Indian people there, and they were just whatever Swami it is, and that was about selling his stuff. So I was talking to them, and I was showing them the system, because the Indians there are quite spiritual people, as you know. So the coconuts on the table. So I'm saying, I get all that and I get everything else, but what's with the coconuts? So the girl said, I'll show you. So I held the coconut in my hand, and she went into an altered state and moved the coconut off my hand. I could feel it moving.
And that's really, you know, that would take an awful lot of mental practice, though, wouldn't it? Or practice
Absolutely.
your energy to be able to do that.
Yeah, I've tried that a couple of times unsuccessfully.
There's an interesting theory that I was reading as well, and that's about a healthy balance. You know, so it's there's being aware of your energy, and there's going down rabbit holes as well. You know, so
yeah,
some people can be so intensely aware of their energy that it actually starts to affect their mental well-being.
yeah, and I've seen that. There was a lady come to me for an aura reading one day,
Mm-hmm.
and I even knew before she'd sat down that her energy was it was electric. And she sat and apologised. I said, I can't give you a reading.
Mm-hmm.
Your energy's it's all over the place. And so I suggested to her, go and get a bit of healing and then come back to me and then we'll have a look. So she went, she had her healing and the difference in her energy. So yeah, you tend to find that people like that, they're so thought processed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much in their own mind. I don't mean that disrespectfully to people, but sometimes the mind takes over. You can't control your aura.
I think it's really important, though, to, you know, when we're talking about the aura and when we're talking about the astrophysical world, I suppose, if that's what you want to call it, that, you know, we must remember first and foremost that we have a physical life that we need to live here.
Absolutely.
You know, even though we are spiritual beings having a human experience, that human experience is what dominates our energy at this minute. So we need to be very aware of the fact that, you know, we are here. We need to live. We can't be in this constant state of Zen. It's unhealthy, terribly unhealthy to be in that state, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I've seen people that have been. I used to go to the college after Finlay College. So the Americans, they come over for a month at a time. So if I'm going my week and they've been there for 3 weeks prior, and you see them and they're just not worth tuppence.
Mm-hmm.
Their energy's is bouncing off the walls. They can't think straight. They pretty much can't see straight.
Because they've been so immersed in that spiritual experience. You know, you and I both have been many times to Stansted down at Arthur Findlay College, and I think that's a very valid point, John. You know, the fact that, you know, 1 day is great, 2 days is great,
Yeah.
but any more than that, when you're immersing yourself so deeply in any kind of spiritual experience, it can be.
Yeah, they have a day down there, a Wednesday. It's called Weepy Wednesday.
Yeah.
So you're in this energy, it builds up, builds up, builds up. By the time you get to Wednesday, you can look about the college grounds and see people with this burst of emotion. They're all in tears, not knowing what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
And it's just been immersed in that.
So really, for me, like, and again, it's only my opinion, but I do believe that, you know, the best ways in which we can really be aware of our energy is listening to good music, sleeping well, looking after our physical well-being by exercising, eating well, having good relationships with the people around us, you know, speaking to friends, speaking to family, because all of these things have an amazing effect on our energy, much more than it would be meditating for half an hour every day for 7 days a week.
Oh, absolutely.
Would you agree?
Oh, definitely. You just need that balance in your life.
Yeah.
You can't live in that energy.
Yeah. Because a lot, I don't know about you, John, but a lot of people ask me the question and say, you know, what's it like being a medium, seeing the spirit world around you all the time? And I'm like, oh my God. See, if I was connected to the spirit world all the time, I would be driven insane. You know, my intention is when I am working, I'm working. When I'm not working, I don't want to see and sense and feel the spirit world.
Exactly. I mean, I've spoken to a couple of mediums in the past, and they say they're around me 24 hours a day.
Oh, that would just be horrendous, wouldn't it?
And it's when you start you're in their company for a wee while and you see how erratic their thinking is a wee bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that's just it's not doing you any good.
Yeah, it's not healthy to be so connected all the time, is it?
No, absolutely not. And let's face it, the spirit world, they've got stuff to do there as well, so they're not going to be here 24/7.
Absolutely.
They've got to let us live a life.
And if you are trying to connect so much to the spirit world and to other energy, you're not really living your life.
No, absolutely not.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because a lot of people really seek or are trying to seek enlightenment.
Yeah.
And true enlightenment comes from you. It comes from, you know, sorting your physical well-being and feeling connected to people and listening to good music, eating well, sleeping, bathing, having great sex, all of these things that we need to do as humans.
Absolutely. And it's just as you said, how you look after yourself. And then everything else will look after you. What I found is the last 6 years I get made redundant. So I've gone self-employed and I fought so hard trying to make a living. And I used to think nothing's working.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, not give up as in give up altogether. I'll give up fighting. And then since I stopped fighting, life's calmed down, work's come in, I'm getting what I need.
You just
that's all I need.
Yeah, absolutely. So, does anybody have any questions for John? Because we're at 10 already and we've been blethering too much. I do apologise. So, any questions on what we've spoke about there? Oh. Do you know, I've been sitting on my backside for the last 3 days and I'm actually feeling that I need to get up and do something because I've just been on my bum. It's terrible, eh, when you actually think,
Yeah.
and you get off a horse.
I got that way just the other day, and I thought I need to change my routine here.
We're all going to have pressure sores on our bum cheeks when we come out of lockdown, I'm sure.
Oh, no. This one has been horrendous, hasn't it?
Well, it's not. It's been a great learning experience. Let's put it that way. A brilliant holiday through sometimes the most difficult months of the year, I suppose.
Yeah. In January, February are naturally just bad months anyway.
Yeah. So we can spring into spring feeling much better about things.
Exactly. So, and we're all ready to get back to work now.
Yeah. So nobody got any questions for John? That's great, John. You can get an early night.
Yeah, I've got him to sleep.
I think, though, to summarise what we were saying there, when we talk about the aura, everything is about energy, absolutely everything. And it's important to have healthy balance no matter what it is that's going on in your life, isn't it?
Aye, absolutely. I know that we always make energetic connections with people as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's learning not to let the ripples affect us too much.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find that I see it with your wee group as well, just the whole energy connection with your group, or your community rather, because it's a community now.
Yeah.
And it's like you turn on your light and they're all there. They're all wee lights that are following you. Not following you as in follow the leader kind of thing, but it's just that the energy you give off, and it opens other people up. It's like the Marianne Williamson thing. It's just you're letting your light shine, and subconsciously it allows other people to shine.
Interesting. So you think that I've got this big energy that draws people in?
Not in a bad way, but yeah, you do.
I've never seen it like that, actually. Yeah. It's interesting, eh?
I see it in the shop. I mean, I know I say I like to sit and watch people, but it's not people. I don't see the people there. It's like I watch the energy. I watch how it interacts.
I think it's just because I care as well.
That's all that is.
Yeah. Angela is saying, what is the brightest colour of a person's aura? I've been told I have a bright white aura.
Right. For me, if somebody's got a bright white aura, there's a lot of it's pure spirit. Not necessarily the spirit world, but it's the person as well.
So there you go, Angela. You are pure spirit.
Yeah, and it's just white contains all colours.
Yeah, that's lovely.
And it's what you radiate off is black absorbs all colours but doesn't give anything off. But white radiates.
It's interesting. And again, remember, Angela, was it Angela? Yeah. Remember, Angela, when someone's perceived your aura, they're only seeing a snapshot, tiny wee bit in time, because our energy changes frequently, so sometimes I'll have my aura photographed at the shop when John's there, and sometimes it's green, sometimes it's red, sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's, all different colours, I suppose. Yeah. So snapshot.
I get so many mediums and psychics when they come in, they haven't got the indigos and the violets, and they get upset. But then they don't realise that the previous, before coming to get this done, they've had maybe a crappy time, something's happened, so their aura's not quite right. And when we're doing that, I'm working with them as a person, not as a medium and a healer.
It's interesting, really is fascinating.
Yeah.
Angela McAvoy is saying, is there something you can read to understand your aura better and how your aura works?
Yeah. There's so much information on the internet even. And how I learned a bit better about it, more in depth. Certainly there's so much about colour and colour meanings out there. Because people always ask me, what does this colour mean? And I always swing it back and ask, what does it mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much about colour and colour meanings. And it's always tell people, find your own way, play about with your aura, not experiment, explore. Find out how it's working with you and just what affects it.
I'm thinking future, we need to do a workshop, me, you, and Susan, because Susan's doing colour therapy right now, and like she's done colour therapy already, but she's doing a really intense, deep course on colour therapy right now, which has taken over a year to do actually.
Yeah.
So I think that would be quite good to collaborate, the three of us.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Yeah.
Just getting your commitment live on camera, John. Just checking. Next person, also Gina saying there, Stephen, your energy draws people. Stephen, your energy draws people towards you all the time. Thanks, Gina.
Yeah. But it's true, when I was kind of exploring my own energy, and I used to find just a quiet aisle in the shop, and I would just stand, just extend my aura, and before you know it, you would have people round about doing nothing, just standing there. But I used to get the agitation with picking up theirs. So what I would then do is just centre myself, move down to the bottom of the aisle, do the same again, and you would see them. They didn't realise they were doing it, but I was quite conscious. So when you're throwing out all that enthusiasm, all that love, you're attracting people. And as healers, that's what we do.
Yeah. It's really funny because, you know, if I look at my life, wherever I am, no matter where I am, people speak to me all the time. My wife says this, she's like, my God, I think like you must have a sign on your forehead that says, come and speak to me. Because everybody comes and says, hi, or, you know, they'll start talking to me, or it's crazy. Doesn't matter where we are in the world, I always seem to.
I feel that when we come into this movement, now you've got the guys that used to walk about with the boards advertising stuff, and that's what we do. We put these boards on subconsciously, and it's like people see it and they're in. We just attract people.
We were in Rome last year, just Nikki and I, and kids were here with Nikki's mum. It was great. But we're in Rome and we were in the Vatican, and there was a group of 4 nuns that like, there was a huge big crowd of people, and they walked right up to me, and they gave me a blessing. And Nikki was like, what is the chances, you know, from every single person in this place, these nuns walked right up to you and gave you a blessing.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a similar vibration.
Yeah. I love it. So I suppose it's what we're putting out there that draws people in, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to walk about with a cloud over you, people will not come near you. But if you're emanating what you do, what I see you emanating, it's the passion that you put into things, and it's the love that you're giving out as well. Yeah, you'll have your crap days and everything else, but that's not what you give off.
It's interesting, eh? It really is. It's automatic, I suppose, isn't it? It just happens. Before we go, John, Helly's asking there, what is a gold aura?
Very special. A gold aura. Again, you're going next. What kind of makes up the gold? It's the yellow and the orange really round about the gold. And again, there's a lot of passion in there. So it is quite a special colour for me.
Yeah.
Might mean something completely different to somebody else. And then if you go into that gold colour, what was the girl's name, sorry?
Helly.
Kelly, right. And
Helly.
Right, and she'll be the type of person, Helly, right. I thought you said Kelly. So Helly will also be the type of person that just radiates, but doesn't quite understand why she gets the attention that she gets.
Interesting.
Because it's all goodness. Although she'll be there beating herself up with her spiritual baseball bat, but she's just drawing. It's just what she's giving out, and it is those rays that she's giving out.
Brilliant.
And I just see you can go in deeper and deeper into the layers.
Yeah.
But I will stop at that because it's not about that.
I know you've got my brain going overdrive here. I'm like, I'm somewhere else. Ooh. Which is good, because.
But that's what I mean. We all interpret it differently.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, John, thank you so much. We are at 10:30. We're after 10:30 actually, which is crazy. It's always, honestly, I say this every single morning, but it's the fastest hour of the day.
It is. Yeah.
So, John, thank you so much for coming on today. We will see you again next Thursday. We will be talking all about the aura. And today we have got an extra special Soul Man surgery this evening at 7. And tonight's Soul Man surgery at 7 p.m. is with the very lovely Marie-Claire Donnelly, who is the co-founder of Dream Magic Fitness. And Marie-Claire is going to be speaking all about her new book. And her new book is called, I cannot remember, It Is What It Is. So it's a book all about lockdown and all about that, all about Marie-Claire's journey. So do feel free to join us tonight at 7 for Marie-Claire. And her book, it's on Amazon for pre-order, but it's not ready yet. I don't think. I think it goes on sale next week. So we're going to be speaking about it all today. Marie-Claire is also a quantum energy life coach as well, or is it a quantum energy coach? Quantum energy life coach? Not quite sure. But she'll be on tonight talking about all of that stuff. So quite exciting tonight. So I will see you guys at 7 o'clock for our extra bonus surgery with Marie-Claire. But from myself and John, thank you so much, John, for coming on today. Thank you so much, everybody else, for taking your time to listen to John and I's ramblings this morning, all about energy and the aura. Not that they're ramblings, but, we do tend to talk quite a lot, John, don't we?
Yeah. Once you start talking about this stuff, you just go on and on.
So, John, have a wonderful day. Everybody else, I shall see you all this evening.
Yeah. Have a good day, folks.
Be strong.